Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to another episode of SimRail 2021. Yes, that is newly released SimRail 2021 Prologue, which is available on Steam for free. You can check it out on your own, or you can stay here and watch me. Or you can do both, one after another, whatever. Anyway, yes, today we will be looking at SimRail 2021 Prologue, which is pretty much a game, or basically a demo that should have been released 2 months ago. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't tried it yet in the game, but I've seen some gameplay videos from other YouTubers like 2-3 days ago, and it was looking much better than original demo, which as you may all know suffered from several problems. Thankfully it's a free product, so at this point like there's not much to complain about, but let's have a look if developers took a lesson after first demo release and what they actually fixed. So they promise a lot of fixes, especially to graphics settings, to anti-aliasing, which was absolutely terrible and pretty much non-existent. They also added a brand new locomotive, which is TRAXX, and we will be driving that today. They basically changed one of the original scenarios for passenger train, if I remember correctly, and now we can do it in like an evening time, night time. But before we begin, before we will drive anything, let's have a look at the options menu, because there were some changes in that section as well. Nico, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Right, so let's jump into the game and let's see what have changed. Okay, so the main menu is more or less the same as it used to be. So we got different sections: train driver, dispatcher, which is not active yet, multiplayer, which is again not active, and depot. And again, this one is not active. Settings, as previously, all the categories are listed on the main menu, which is pretty nice. Quite easy to access specific section of settings that you want to visit. We can obviously adjust our graphics. As you can see, I managed to crack everything all the way to its limit. Hopefully the game will run smooth. I haven't tested that yet, so we might need to come back to this menu throughout the stream and adjust a few things. Sound menu, again, not much changes. We can mute the game on focus loss, or do some various different things, but last time I checked, or in the demo, that option didn't work. I haven't checked it in this new Prologue version, but I believe there might have been some changes to that. Simulation, we can enhance signal visibility, which I won't be using. And interface, and there is a big change, especially for users who live in America, so that might be good for you, Nico. In interface settings, you can now change the unit system between metric and imperial, and I strongly recommend using metric, because most of the signs, well, because every single sign will refer to metric system instead of imperial system, so it will be much easier for you to drive anything and understand the signals and signs. And finally, controls. We can finally view all the controls listing still can't change it, but that's a massive progress. The game is now telling you what function is assigned to which button, which was not available in the demo. We just had that general controls comment saying control rebinding and controller support will be available in the full version of the game. And right now it's pretty much only rebinding the controls will be available in the game. The game still doesn't support any controllers, so if you have any plugged in, I strongly recommend unplugging them before playing the game, because you might get some weird results, and that will be probably game breaking for most of you. So any steering wheels, any sort of gamepad controllers, whatever that is, train driver controller, I think that's how it's called. I've never used that, to be honest. But yeah, again, that needs to be unplugged at this moment, because the game still doesn't support those devices. Right. So that's it when it comes to menus. There's pretty much not much to show. So let's crack on, let's jump into the game and let's see what we can drive. So now we got two railway lines, Katowice-Warszawa and Katowice-Sędziszów. Today we will be driving on Katowice-Sędziszów because, well, that's something new. I might eventually jump into Katowice-Warszawa line to again drive this passenger train, because now we can do it in the evening time, so we will see some nighttime action. So depending on how long it will take me to go through Katowice-Sędziszów scenario, we might eventually jump into the other route. Yes, Nico, there is an option to turn on track IR, but I have this turned off, even though I have track IR. I don't know, I don't really feel like playing any train driving game with track IR would be any comfortable for me. I guess I got too used to, or too much used to playing the game of this type without using track IR. I don't know, like, it is a cool idea and definitely it improves immersion for people that want to try it, but for streaming definitely I won't turn it on. I don't think after I set up my PC again, like last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember if I actually set up a track IR. I still have it plugged in, but yeah, I haven't been using that for quite a while. Anyway, let's jump into Katowice-Sędziszów. Let's see what we can do here. There is only one scenario, Kawka-Staszic to Sosnowiec-Dandówka, which is pretty much Kawka, which stands for coal mine, Staszic, which is name of the coal mine, to Sosnowiec-Dandówka. So basically we will be transporting coal from the coal mine to Sosnowiec station. The scenario is listed as a level 4 of difficulty, and I know why. So, it is definitely going to be quite difficult scenario. I'm not sure why the music is doing that, but it's kind of annoying. Let me just give me a second. Yeah, for some reason, like, the music is doing some weird things today, and there's not much I can do about it. It's all about Spotify doing weird stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the game. So let's play it. In fairness, I can't remember last time when I've been driving TRAXX locomotive, so this might be quite fun. Okay, So we got our...
SimRail, the railway simulator.
There we go.
You are in the heart of Upper Silesia, located in the south of Poland, the most industrialized part of the country. The coal mined in this region has fed many power plants for decades, and the steel produced in the local steel mills was used as the building material for many facilities. In front of you, you can see a TRAXX locomotive with a freight train loaded with a coal for one of the power plants in eastern Poland. You will lead it on a section from Staszic coal mine in Katowice to the Sosnowiec-Dańdówka station. Perform your task carefully and admire the industrial landscape. To enter the locomotive, approach it and click on the doors or press 1 on the keyboard.
Okay, so to begin with, the game looks nice, but I can feel that it's not running to its fullest. Yeah, definitely. I will have to adjust few things. I think I cracked on the graphics settings a little bit too much. Can I just hide this? No, I can't really hide it. How do I... Okay. Let's first do things that I need to do. Perhaps if I can drop render distance down to 1000 to save some resources. Grass shadows, I might turn that off to save some performance. LOD switch distance, yeah, definitely. Vegetation draw distance, I will just crank it down a little bit. And vegetation density, let's crank it down. Let's apply. We still might suffer from some performance loss. Okay, now it should be a little bit better. Let's return to the game. Yeah, that's much more smooth. I'm not sure how well it's gonna look like on the stream. If there are any issues, just let me know. Justin, can we play a signal box? No, we can't play signal box just yet. Yeah, I think we will have some performance issues here. Just give me a second. Let me just quickly adjust it. Perhaps let me just drop it down to high settings. There we go. That should help a little bit. Yeah, that should definitely help. Okay, return to the game. Okay, OBS is still reporting that it takes some time to render frames. Yeah, definitely. It might be quite taxing game for streaming. Let's go to medium settings. There we go. Okay, that should be much better. The game shouldn't be as taxing on the software as it used to be. Perfect. Right, can I play the signal box? No, you can only play as a driver in Prologue version. So we won't be able to take over any signal boxes.
And activate the driver's seat with a switch on the rear wall of the cabin.
Okay, let's turn on the battery.
Use the button or a spacebar on the keyboard to deactivate the CA SHP security system. These systems will regularly check your alertness while driving. To sit on the driver's seat, press on it.
Okay. Oh, nice, Ollie, nice. And how do you like it? Right, let me sit down. Perfect.
Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph.
Okay, I need to lift the pantograph. There we go. So the pantographs are now
To enter
raised.
the locomotive, approach it and click on the doors or press 1 on the keyboard. Now, close the
Perfect.
quick circuit breaker.
You like it so far. That's good. That's good.
Now, close the quick circuit breaker. Wait for a quick circuit breaker to close, and also wait for the converter and compressor to start. The correct operation of these devices is necessary, for example, to supply the braking system of a train. Now, set the forward direction.
Okay, set the forward direction. So
Move
there
the
we
brake
go.
lever to the drive position. It may take a long time to loosen up the brakes. To speed this up, you can hold the lever in a filling position with an increased cross section.
Okay. We are now filling in brake hose, so it's gonna take a while for this train to actually depressurize. We can eventually speed this up a little bit, but yeah, the change is not significant because we don't have any pressure that was built up before, so we will have to wait. Yes, definitely. The simulator is going in the right direction. There are still some issues. For example, I noticed that I'm suffering from some performance issues, even though technically the game should be able to run on full settings. And I shouldn't have any performance issues at all, to be honest. Not on 3080, but surprisingly enough, yeah, according to OBS, I was losing frames on the high settings. It might be because I got quite a lot of things going in the background in terms of streaming, so perhaps I could try to turn off the avatar, and perhaps that would save me some frames and processing power. But on the other hand, the avatar on its own is not using that much. It's a shame that for some reason the game runs a little bit worse than I expected. But it might also be a problem with some drivers or stuff.
Follow his instructions via radio.
4140 brake.
Okay, so I need to apply brakes. Maintain, increase brake force. Okay. So we now need to do a brake test.
Move the brake
There we
lever
go.
to the drive position.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure what's going on, and but for some reason the game runs a little bit worse than it should. There might be still some changes that I need to make when it comes to drivers or such. There we
The
go.
call button on your radio telephone to confirm the readiness to the train dispatcher.
Train 414018, Stasicko, mine dispatcher, radio check.
414018, good radio. Ready for train data.
I have 25 cars, 2000 tons, length of 370 meters, one locomotive E1A6, 134, driver Stevenson.
Oh, you maxed out the settings. That's interesting.
Miami Bella, readiness number is 27. Stand by for signal indication.
Press on your chair or use the E key to get up. Before we will be able to go, we need to release the parking brake. This button is placed just behind you on the rear wall of a cabin. To sit on the driver's seat, press on it.
Okay. Let's check the markings. Yeah, I got correct lights. Okay. Okay. Later on we will have to change the lights. Perfect.
Move the lever forward to apply power and go.
Okay, so we can now apply power. There we go. We may now begin to move. Yeah, definitely driving this freight train will be challenging. That's literally 2,000 tons of cargo. So it will take a while before we will be able to reach any speed. And on top of that, since we are driving in Silesia region, I expect that there will be some problems on the track. Landart, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Okay, so far we are doing good. I would like to turn off some of the UI elements, but I can only turn them all at once. I don't really see... Okay, I can turn off the chat. F5. No, F6, F7. Not really. Yeah, I really don't like those speed hints and signal hints. And I would like to turn those off. But I don't think I can... Oh, okay, I can turn that off. Okay, I guess I will have to live with that. But that turns off pretty much entire section of UI. Which is kind of problematic. Oh well, we will live with it. Okay, speed limit will be 30. Well, it pretty much is already. We are doing 16 kilometers per hour, so that's good. I like the fact that the train is rocking on the tracks. It's not too hard, it's not too little, but it definitely improves the immersion. Yeah, I can see some frame drops here. So definitely I need to check my graphics settings. Perhaps I could try and roll back to different version of NVIDIA drivers, because I heard the new ones might have some performance issues. Okay, let's let it coast for now. We are still gaining speed, so I might eventually use some brakes. There we go. With the help of a little bit brakes, yeah, we managed to keep our speed at 21 kilometers per hour, which is pretty alright. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, I can see that the game is slowing down significantly. So there's definitely some problems with something. Okay, we can now increase the power. The line is very hilly. Yeah, there are some hills here and there. The biggest problem of this line, from what I can see, is low speed limits. So definitely we will have to adjust our speed and control it very carefully. Oh. Okay. Okay, is my speed decreasing or increasing? It is decreasing. Brakes should be released. Let's increase the power. Okay, now the speed is increasing. Perfect. Radzi, hello. Welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Oh my goodness me. There was another small issue. Yeah, I have a feeling that the game is suffering from some... Well, I have a feeling... Well, the game is definitely suffering from some performance issues. It definitely feels like there could be some improvements here and there, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. But I will look into that. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, definitely. Let me just check one thing. Okay, for some reason the game is not running as smooth as I expected. So perhaps if I will go to borderless window. Why is that? 60 Hz, full resolution, VSync enabled. Let's disable VSync. Maybe that will improve things. Let's apply it. Okay, and now time to render frame dropped significantly, so maybe there is an issue with full screen window. Let's have a look at this. Very high. Let's apply it. Okay, yeah, that definitely drops my render frame time, so that is not going to help. Let's check high settings. That probably won't help. Yeah. So let's go back to medium, which still isn't too bad, but it's a bit disappointing. Okay. And let's see if the game will work a little bit. There is an update available. Oh, don't tell me they actually released a prologue with some graphical issues. That's not a good start, but yeah, definitely the game runs much worse than it should have been running. Yeah, the performance of the game is absolutely terrible. And it shouldn't be, not on the machine that I'm running it. Like, literally, I've seen the videos of other people that were running this game like 2-3 days ago, and they were running it on like full or ultra settings with 3080 graphics, and the game was absolutely beautiful and everything worked perfectly fine. And all of a sudden, I can't run the game on 3080 in medium settings without massive performance issue. Right. We will slow down a bit. Yeah, I stopped way too early. Yeah, for some reason I'm having a massive performance issue. So, what I'm gonna do, I will check the new update and we'll see if that will help. Because yeah, this seems quite unplayable. And it's weird, because like the game should run perfectly smooth. So, let's go to this screen. Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it might be the update. Okay. So, I will turn the game off. Because, yeah, it makes no sense to keep going. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is an update already. And the game was literally released like 2 hours ago. So let's see if there are any update notes or patch notes. Nothing yet. Nope, nothing in the discussion. Let's check if they have anything on their Discord. Nope. Nope. Verify the game files. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. So that's the draw distance, that stuff. Okay, they didn't mention anything about graphics settings, which is weird. Let me just check NVIDIA control panel. There might be something that I did wrong. So I will just quickly... gain some frames, if possible. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. That might be a thing. Okay. That should work. Perfect. Okay, so I got the patch. Now, let's try if the game will improve. Because that was weird, literally. Like on this kind of equipment, the game shouldn't run that bad. Okay, we are back in the menu. Let's check the graphics settings. Let's go back to high settings. They should work. There shouldn't be any issues on high. In fact, the game should run on very high. So let's try it. Why not? And let's go to Katowice Sędziszów. The music decided to stop. Yeah. For some reason, the playlist is doing some weird stuff. Okay, okay. I might turn that off. Yeah, so we will be playing without the music for now. Let me just see if I can perhaps restart Spotify, and because again it does some weird stuff today. Ah, those lovely technical issues. Oh, I see. I see, I see, I see, I see. Yeah, for some reason, Spotify is doing some weird stuff today. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, I've also seen his stream, and like... Oh, okay, Spotify can't play the file right now. Okay. So it looks like Spotify is having an issues today, so I will just turn it off. Because it starts to getting annoying. Well, it's one of those days where technical issues are ruining everything. Right, so let's try it again. We will restart this scenario. And hopefully now it will work. There we go. And nope,
Welcome to the
I
Prologue
can
SimRail,
see that the
railway
game, well,
simulator.
at least on very high,
You are in
it
part of
doesn't work. Let's check it on high settings, but probably the change won't be that
Those
great.
steel mills
Return to
was used as the building material for many facilities. In front of you, you can see a TRAXX
Yeah, I can
locomotive
still
with a
see
freight
that
train loaded with a coal
frames
for
are
one
not
of the
good.
power plants in eastern Poland.
Oh, yours was shuttering only at start. Well, for me, I can see that the game actually drops down to 30 FPS, which is not what it should be, to be honest. There we go. Yeah, the game is still not running at its best. Like, literally, the performance is absolutely terrible. I will have to look into that. Perhaps it's a driver's issue, but if I remember correctly, I got the newest drivers. So, I might roll back to one of the previous versions. Maybe that will help. Because, like, literally, the game is in medium settings right now. And it's not running good. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Maybe. Wait. Anti-aliasing disabled and VSync disabled. FPS limit. Oh, I see. How do I set it to unlimited? Okay, I will set FPS limit at 120, even though it's not needed. Okay, with turned off anti-aliasing. Right. On my end, the game runs smooth. But for some reason, on the stream, the game is absolute garbage. I mean, right now it looks like garbage. But, yeah. Oh, dear. Right. If I will go back to TAA, which is the only good anti-aliasing you can get, the game looks much better. But again, on the stream, oh wow, it's actually losing frames. This is absolutely stunning. Right, what I can try, I will see if turning off my avatar will help. Perhaps that is going into conflict with the game. Maybe the game is a little bit too taxing. So let me just... you can stop. Okay. Wait, all of a sudden... I think I know what it is now. Oh, you won't believe it. No. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I can turn that off. Okay, screen capture. Yeah, that might be an option. Let me just check if screen capture instead of specific window capture will help. But I doubt it will make much of a difference. So I will turn off the game. Oh, it doesn't actually capture the screen that I want. Properties. Okay. Yeah, it's still not good. Like, there's still significant lag. It's actually going worse. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, it's better when I capture the game itself. It's much more smoother. It's much smoother. But yeah, the FPS loss is massive for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. That's really weird. This wasn't happening before. Yeah, there is definitely some performance issues. Oh, wow. That's really weird. On that equipment, this should not happen. Literally, there should be no performance issues at all. Right. There is one more option I could try. But it might take some time. I could try and install the game on a different drive. Maybe that's the problem. Although I don't think that would actually make things better. But yeah, literally. While on my end, the game runs smooth and it's perfectly fine. For some reason, there is a massive performance issue on the stream. That doesn't actually look good, especially for a first impression. So there is a problem with something. Right. Let's see. Borderless window. Let's go to window. No, that's normal window. I don't want maximized window. Yeah, that could work. Full resolution. I could go to full resolution. Tessellation. Okay. Yeah, like on medium settings, this game should just fly on this equipment. But for some reason, it is not. That's really strange. Right, let's restart this mission so that we won't lose any time.
Welcome to the Prologue of SimRail, the railway simulator.
Okay, now it runs a little bit better, but there is still some stuttering on the stream.
The coal mined in this region has fed many power plants for decades. And the steel
Dominic Toretto, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today.
In front of you, you can see a TRAXX locomotive with a freight train loaded with a coal for one of the power plants in eastern Poland. You will lead it on a section from Staszic coal mine in Katowice to the Sosnowiec-Dańdówka station. Perform your task carefully and admire the industrial landscape. To enter the locomotive, approach it and click on the doors or press 1 on a keyboard.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try it.
Turn on the battery and activate the driver's seat with a switch on the rear wall of the cabin.
Yeah, like performance on the stream is absolutely terrible. It's not looking like that on my end. Like the game now runs smooth. There is no chance it's gonna run bad. But for some reason, something is causing that massive slowdown. What could that be? Right, what could be hindering my performance here? That is a good question. Yeah, that's very interesting. Oh my goodness me, yeah, FPS is dropping down to 30 on the stream. And I got massive time to render frame. So this is definitely not helping. We can sit down. Yeah, it looks pretty bad on the stream.
The E key to get up.
Let's see if there is any stream option that I could actually adjust. There's literally nothing. And I'm not recording this time. I'm streaming, so the bitrate is much lower than I would have to. That's really weird. Low latency. No. That's very, very interesting. Yeah. Right. Basically, on the stream, things are looking much worse than in reality. That's not something I expected to see, to be honest. I actually expected the game to run a little bit better. Why do I have so few viewers? I don't know. I mean, there is not that little, to be honest. Today there is quite a few people are watching on multiple platforms because I multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube. But technically that goes through like separate platforms, so there's no performance impact from that on my PC. I still use a single program, which is OBS, and it streams to basically Restream, which is separate platform online that restreams things to YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, that is pretty much the same setup I would have only for YouTube or only for Twitch. Right. The question is why the performance is so bad. Okay, wait. That's very interesting. Oh. That is very interesting. Give me a second. Oh, guys, you won't believe it. It is stupid, but you won't believe it. Oh, this is something unbelievable. Right. So, what I got, what I found out just now is I got a browser tab with some moderation settings for my Twitch channel. Yeah. It's opened in the background behind the OBS. And whenever I switch to that particular tab, the game performance just plummets. It just goes to pretty much nearly zero. Yeah, it's like the game doesn't have any performance back then. I switched to a different tab, and all of a sudden, yeah, my FPS is stable 60. Average time to render frame is below 1 second. Perfect. Yeah, no frame loss. Oh wow, seriously. And that was the thing that was like, yeah, literally that tab literally killed my performance. I switched to something else and voila, the game runs. I can in fact close this tab completely, which will be problematic when it comes to managing my Twitch stream. But yeah, just look at this. The game runs smooth. I can even check if I can now put a proper settings. Hey, guess what? I'm running the game in very high settings. No problem at all. Are you joking me now? Right. I like it. I like it. Okay, so it's not the game problem, yeah? As you can see, if you are a Twitch streamer, yeah, turn off any sort of moderation for your... Well, hire a separate moderator because you won't be able to do it yourself. And because it will just kill any game that you will be running. Right. I can just do that. What I had at the start... Grass shadows, yes. Let me try that. Load switch distance. Let's see how far I can push this game. Okay, that has slight loss of performance. So that's definitely not... Yeah, that definitely has slight loss of performance. So let me just adjust it to make it look the best it can now. That's this, and grass shadows, perhaps I can turn them off. Yeah, perhaps. There we go. Time to render frame around 1.6 seconds. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. Okay. 0.6 seconds. Perfect. I might eventually drop this down a little bit. Return to game. Perfect. No problems at all. Okay. So let's restart this mission because we lost some time. And let's play it properly.
Welcome
Perfect.
to the Prologue of SimRail, the railway simulator. You are in the heart of Upper Silesia, located in the south of Poland, the most industrialized part of the country. The coal mined in the region has fed many power plants for decades, and the steel produced in the local steel mill was used as the building.
Oh wow, Raliev!
In front of
Congratulations!
TRAXX
You are now a crew member for
train
3
loaded
months
with
straight.
coal for one of the power plants in Eastern
Thank you
Poland.
very much for your
You will
continuous
lead it on a
support
section
and
from
enjoy
Stasic
your
coal
new
mine in Katowice to the Sosnowiec
level 3
station.
badge for
Perform
3
your
months
task
of
carefully and admire the industrial landscape.
being a crew member.
To enter the locomotive, approach it and click on the doors or
Nice.
press 1 on a keyboard.
Right. Guys, finally, we managed to establish what was killing my performance. And it was not the game.
Turn on the battery
So I can't
and
blame
activate the
developers
driver's
for...
seat with a switch on the rear wall of the cabin. Use the button or a
Okay.
spacebar on the keyboard to deactivate the CA SHP security system. These systems will
Okay, I
regularly
got
check your
those
alertness while driving. Our
sorted.
vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph.
Okay, so the pantograph is up. In fact, what I can try
Now,
and do...
close the quick circuit breaker.
Close the quick circuit breaker. Where is that? Oh,
Wait for the
that
quick
button
circuit
is
breaker to
located pretty
close,
poorly.
and also wait for the converter and compressor to start. The correct operation of these devices is necessary, for example, to supply the braking system of a train. Now, set the forward direction.
Okay, let me quickly start this thing. There we go. My uniform is back. Let me lock it, or maybe let me unlock it. No. Okay. How is the game this time? Well, the game is much better. Although I messed up a little bit. I'm not sure why the avatar decided to do that. Let me just see if I can quickly recalibrate it. There we go. Yeah, for some reason. I see. It will be tough to adjust it now. Yeah, for some reason this one is now lifted. Why is this happening now? Oh dear, 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 oh dear. Okay, I can always do that. There we go. And I can always do that. There we go. Okay, problem solved. Drag it down from OBS. Yes, exactly. That's what I did. Right. I can turn that off. Yeah, sorry for that quick stream reset up. Like, apparently few things started to work very differently since I started to mingle with the settings. And surprisingly enough, I wasn't changing anything in VTube or whatever. Like, haven't touched those softwares, but apparently, yeah, something went wrong, and I don't know what was that. Okay, anyway, let's focus on the game. We need to set forward direction.
It may take a long time to loosen up the brake.
Brake to drive position.
To speed this up, you can hold the lever in a filling position with an increased cross section.
Yeah, technically I could use high flow charge because the compressor was running for quite a while. But that doesn't really make any difference. Yeah, in drive position it still works perfectly fine. Vihar Boss, thank you very much for joining us today, and well, I hope you will have a great rest of the day. Okay, I can see that turning on VTube Studio with the game is definitely not a good idea. It actually caused my frames to drop. So for safety reasons, let's turn it off again. There we go. That brought my frames back to normal. Okay, I can turn off this part. I won't need it. All I need is timetable, chat, and that's it, pretty much. So let's use this setup. Right, screens, they should work technically. Append, okay. What do we have? Okay.
Now the train brake test will take place. The auditor will check if all cars have working brakes.
Okay, I can turn on and off lights.
4140 18 brake.
Okay, now I need to
Move the brake lever to the brake position.
brake again.
4140 18 on brake.
And back to driving
Move
position.
the brake lever to the drive position.
Perfect. Right, how do I... There we go. Now I need... camera. Nope. How can I change? I know there is a way.
4140 18 okay. All brakes are good to go. Thank you.
Use the call button on your radio telephone to confirm the readiness to the train
Okay, okay.
Train
I know there is
4140
some stuff you can do
radio
in
check.
here. No.
4140 18 good radio. Ready for train data.
Oh, I
I
see.
have 25 cars, 2000 tons, length of 370 meters, one locomotive E1A6-134, driver Stevenson, ready to depart.
I see. I can't change this screen.
Readiness
The
number
main
7.
doesn't work. This one doesn't work.
Press on your chair or use the E key to get up.
I see. I
Before we
see.
will
So
be able to go,
you
we
can
need to
partially
use the parking
operate
brake.
this
This button is placed just
this panel, but there are not not all the functions are working, which is
to apply power and go.
a bit of a bummer. Because I would love to see a different screen. The one that would display me the brake pressures and stuff. I can always use the gauges, but it's a bit less comfortable. In fact, I can turn on instrument lighting to highlight those. Control panel, okay, so I got a light just above this panel, perfect. We won't be using LZB because that system is not present in Poland. Okay, so now we can focus on driving for a change. There we go. Perfect. I have to say the game looks really good, but obviously it is very taxing on your computer. Definitely I need to adjust some settings if I want to use full like streaming setup that I would normally use, or just turn off like live avatars and all that stuff for streaming SimRail, because otherwise, yeah, I just won't be able to do that. But the game looks really nice, so that's one of the things that's like is worth that sacrifice, yeah. Like I don't mind turning off all the extra elements on the stream that I don't really need, just for the sake of showing off the game in its full potential. Okay, I can now let it coast. We are moving at 21 kilometers per hour. And soon we will start going downhill, so I might as well introduce some brakes. And in fact, probably I will have to. But now the game runs as it should, so we can finally focus on driving instead of dealing with performance issues. And it looks great. It looks great. This is the highest set. Well, those are pretty much one of the highest settings you can get. I think you can push the game slightly higher here and there, but it still looks really nice. Okay, this panel is a little bit too bright to my likings. And unfortunately, there is no way to adjust it. Oops. We were speeding a little bit. Okay. It is definitely a completely different experience from Train Driver. Operating brakes in this simulator is a bit challenging. You need to get used to it. Especially when you have to keep your train at relatively slow speed. Because obviously that's where control of the brakes is very important. I could technically turn on... there should be a cruise control somewhere. And I think I missed one of the signs that requires me to use a horn. So I definitely need to focus on that as well. Yeah, definitely that won't be one of those perfect runs. Oh yeah, definitely. Like... That's the reason why I don't like the idea of starting from this particular unit. I would prefer to have this scenario with, let's say, EU07. But definitely I'm not fan of those like single press and hold or whatever. This like doesn't sit with me. But yeah, it's not something I couldn't learn. Also, I think that the horn is a little bit too loud when you are in the cabin with all the windows closed. I'm not sure if you can even open them. I can roll the blind. Yeah, I'm moving way too slow. Okay, we are approaching the red light. So soon we will have to stop. Okay, so let's let it coast. The speed is pretty good. We are doing 28 kilometers per hour. Okay. A slight braking force, just to slow us down. Now let's roll all the way to the signal. I think I might have started to slow down a little bit too soon. That's the red signal up ahead. So let's roll a little bit closer, just a tiny bit, so that we can clearly see the semaphore. Okay, that should be alright. Okay, we are now stopped. Let's try and contact with...
Requesting entry.
There we go.
Hello, you will enter on substitute signal due to terminal 4. You will be operating on the left-hand track to KMB.
Thank you. I will proceed upon substitute signal to KMB on the left track.
Okay,
Press
we
on the
need
chair or use the E key to get up.
to switch our lights.
The headlight switch to the 5th position indicating signal PC2. The switch is located on the rear wall of the cabin. We use
Yeah.
the setting of the headlights during every drive on the left track.
It's really annoying when this guy is turned on and he's like talking so much. But yeah, he explains it pretty well. Basically, for left track operation, we are supposed to use a different light signal to tell the drivers from opposite direction, or to tell the drivers that are driving on the trucks heading opposite direction, that we are operating on the left track for our direction of travel. Which basically means that we are driving on the wrong side of the road, yeah? Or the trucks. Right. Okay. Let's go past the semaphore. We don't have that much time because the semaphore should stop displaying a substitute signal after 90 seconds. So we can't stay here for too long. There we go. Yeah, it would be nice if those dim buttons would work. I would really love to slightly dim this panel. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, the speed limit will go up to 50 for a short period of time. And then it will go down to 40. So we won't be able to travel at a very high speed here.
41, 4018, answering. Understood. Dostawiska on left-hand track.
Okay, I hope I didn't miss any signs. Because definitely this route requires me to pay a lot of attention to that. Okay, we will be slowing down to 20. So I will introduce light brake force to slow myself down. Back to drive position. Okay. Oops. I think I introduced the wrong brake. Oh yeah. Wait, emergency brake on button 1. Let me check the controls. I don't think that this should be emergency brake. Keypad 3, 9. Oh, I might have accidentally introduced emergency brake. Okay. Yeah, it's not listed here, but apparently numpad 1 is emergency brake. Which is something that I didn't expect, in fairness. And now I will have to wait for the brake pressure to increase. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was very unexpected. Also, yeah, okay, the light has changed. So we got red light, although it's so bright that you can't see it, isn't it? There we go. The brakes are now releasing, so that was my mistake. That was very unexpected to see that. Okay, we still have to wait for the brakes to fully release. So how do I operate the local brake? Driver safety, travel direction, okay, horn. Yeah. Oh, I see. Those are not even listed. Okay, that explains a lot. Pneumatic brake, keypad 9 and 3, yeah. But those brakes are not listed. Oh, okay. I see. Buttons 8 and 2. will operate local brake. I'm still waiting for the brake pressure to drop. As you can see, it takes a long time to release the brakes if you accidentally do something wrong with them. Okay, the train should now start rolling on its own because we are on a downhill slope. There we go. So I will just let it coast. We will be slightly delayed, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm approaching a section of track where the speed limit goes down to 20. And that's starting from this sign behind the bridge. But before we reach that section, let's observe how the pantograph is working with the catenary. Because apparently in the game it actually works.
True back.
So yeah, it's been pushed down a little bit. Now it's extending. I'm moving at a very slow speed, so you might have not noticed that. But yeah, definitely the pantograph is following the catenary. Now it's extending a little bit as the wires are going higher.
True back.
Okay, I'm still within the speed limit. There's definitely a lot of work from me to be done in order to learn how to operate this particular locomotive in a smooth fashion. Because right now, as you could see, yeah, that wasn't a perfect run. Okay. Speed limit 40 at the semaphore, obviously. That's not exactly a case, because that's the 20 km/h speed limit. So I can give him a little bit of a power to keep the speed, but there is no point in going over 20. Okay, so we are in 20 km/h section. Now the speed limit will go up to 50. In about... can I just check the chat? Oh, I can't just drag it. So analysis is 370 meters. Okay. It's worth knowing that, so you can observe those markings and you know when you can speed up. Okay, 37.4. The next one should be 37.5. Is it? Oh, no, that's 9.1. Oh, okay. 37.3 in that case, okay. So we can now go above 20 km/h. that's exactly what we did. And we are in 50 km per hour section. Perfect. Okay, I will let it coast. Because we are approaching 30 km per hour speed limit. So I will introduce some brakes to slow us down. Back to drive position. We are now doing 28. And it looks like we might be going downhill, so yeah. A tiny bit of brakes again. Back to drive position again. Oh, okay. We will have to slow down to 20. Are we speeding up? Yeah, we are still speeding up. So very small amount of regular train brake. Just to put us below 20. Back to drive position. Perfect. That's the 30 km per hour speed limit zone, if I remember correctly. And then shortly after, we should approach 20 km per hour speed limit section. There we go. Okay, that's end of 30. We are doing 20 because another section is coming up. Okay, we can now use some... Oh, no. That's definitely not something I want. That was way too much throttle. Okay, and we should have 20 km per hour on that bridge, I believe. Okay, we can slightly increase the throttle since we are slowing down. Okay, now we are slightly gaining speed. 20 on the bridge, as expected. Right, you guys are probably wondering why such harsh speed limits here. Right, obviously the bridge is kind of obvious, yeah. It might be because the bridge is old and it might not be suitable to drive at high speed with a heavy freight train over it. But as for the rest of the route, in many places it looks like, yeah, it could support higher speeds, yeah, and probably it used to. And the problem is that the area where we are virtually driving right now, but in reality this area is full of coal mines. So Staszic is just one of them. And the entire area is pretty much suffering from damages caused by digging coal from under the ground, yeah? So the ground is pretty unstable, and when you are trying to run trains, build structures over ground, then obviously there will be parts where, yeah, the old tunnels will, for example, collapse. And eventually this will cause damages over the ground, and that's exactly what happened in those areas plenty of times, and that's why in certain places the speed limits are much lower than they could have been if the damages weren't done by the coal mine. Right, we are getting close to 30 kilometers per hour. We should be far enough from that bridge to actually... Oh, okay, I think small part of our train was still on the bridge when we exceeded. $20. Thankfully, we haven't been speeding for too long. Let's slow down a bit, because we are approaching another 30 km per hour section. Okay, back to drive position. There we go. El Turbo! Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. You are driving train from my country and in my country. Yes, I know. We are currently approaching Sosnowiec, which is, yeah, a country of its own, isn't it? Do we need a passport there? Okay, there we go. That's the 30 km per hour section, so we can slightly increase our speed. The tracks should be a bit more even now, so it will be easier to maintain our speed. Okay, that was a very short section of 30 km per hour speed limits, but I'm not sure what's the speed limit on the whole track. That's definitely going downhill, so I would like to let it coast. There we go. Train is still speeding up. I think it is. No, not really. Okay, I'm fine with that. Now we are speeding up. Okay. I don't think locomotive brake will be enough. Yeah. Oh, I see. Now it introduced electrodynamic brake, but that was way too much. Okay, we can speed up. That's still 30 km/h section. We got 10 minutes delay. Not too bad, not too bad. I'd really love to see those panels to be in slightly better resolution, to be honest. It would be easier to be able to read them when the camera is not zoomed in. And that's always the problem with those panels in the games that features those new BR locomotives. Oh, you managed to reach the final destination. That's good. I'm also getting very close from what I remember. Although it will take some time because obviously the route speed is very slow. But so far I'm enjoying it. Obviously that's only the first part of this route. And I think entire route that will be featured in the game is about 100 kilometers long. So further down the line we might be able to travel at higher speeds. But yes, start of the run is definitely a crawl because, well, as I mentioned, there are damages caused by excessive mining operations, and obviously that also has an impact on the railways. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, the game has improved a lot. I'm really glad to see that. But definitely, yeah, it also requires like very powerful equipment to stream it, which you could see at the start, yeah, or at the beginning, when I was struggling with performance, and that was because I had like Twitch tab opened, and I also had my virtual or live avatar, which basically completely killed my performance in the game, yeah. So the game is definitely using everything it can. And that's why it was running so bad. But without any extra software that is turned on in the background, the game runs really well. I have to admit that so far I managed to keep and hold stable 60 frames per second, which is really good, especially for this kind of graphics. Some people might complain about how, like, environment, like buildings and all the stuff looks like, but come on, let's face it, we are playing train simulator. So eventually, like, extra stuff doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, I can see that's the building. Okay, I can see there's some trees, grass, whatever. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I actually like this idea. In fact, I could slow down a tiny bit. Because I've reached 30 kilometers per hour quite some time ago, in fact. Okay. Okay, so yeah, the environment looks pretty good to me. And in fairness, yeah, if you push it too hard, then the game will definitely run even worse than it is. Right, we are approaching 20 kilometers per hour speed limit. We will be heading back to right track, if I remember correctly. We got 12 minutes delay. Okay, a touch on the brakes. But shortly behind the signal I will have to slow down anyway. And yes, Ollie, the passenger run is now a nighttime run. There we go.
Press on your chair or use the E key to get up.
Okay, let's quickly set up the
At
lights.
the moment we will move from the left track to the right track, so we need to turn the headlight program back to 0 position, what indicates the UIC train head mark.
There we go. Okay, back to drive position. We are doing 20, and on this junction there is a 20 km per hour speed limit. That's why I'm slowing so much. We had a sign telling us about this before. So right now we need to crawl at that slow speed. And the fact that tracks are heading downhill is not helping. There we go, that's a 20 km per hour zone. You can see the train rocking a little bit, which is nice. I really like the new version. To be honest, like, apart from those initial performance issues, which, in fairness, it was my fault. I should have checked how the game runs in different configurations. But yeah, I would never expect that the game uses so much resources that I would have to start closing tabs. But on the other hand, I'm also using Chrome, so yeah. I brought it on myself. But on its own, the game runs perfectly fine. Even with OBS on full graphics settings, I even cranked few things up above the very high settings, and the game runs smooth, no problems at all. 60 frames per second, not a problem, yeah. And in fairness, for a train simulator, you don't really need much more than 45-50 frames per second. As long as the game doesn't stutter, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So yeah, in my opinion, like, performance is a top notch now. Oh shoot. No. I did it. Right. What I just did, I accidentally engaged emergency brakes again, but not through the button this time, but through the lever, and it pretty much smashed my brakes. It is way too easy to do, which was something that was mentioned in regards to first demo, and I agree with that. Pressing brake twice is not the best idea to program emergency braking. That should be completely separate button, and even if it's incorporated in the lever, it should be done slightly different. It shouldn't be that from any position I will double press what is that, 3 on the numpad, and the driver will just smack emergency brakes. That should never happen, because it's way too easy to do it. That should be a separate position that you have to confirm specifically, or the double press should work only from the last position as a security measure, so that you won't introduce emergency braking all the way from no braking at all. That should never happen. I mean, in real life, yeah, you got better control because you got actual lever, yeah. But in the game, it feels like weird, honestly. Okay, let's let it coast. Let's have a look outside. Yeah, that looks good. I really like that this game has plenty of outside cameras. So you got this one, free camera, where you can actually... Oh, okay. That stop you are too far from the vehicle is really annoying. Because it prevents you from taking those nice screenshots. Okay. There we go. Really nice. What else do we have? Okay, slow down, you are driving too fast to leave. Oh, okay. I almost thought that I accidentally started to speed above the speed limit, but okay, there is still 20 km/h zone according to the game, but we've all seen that there is 70 sign. Oops. I did it again, did I? Yep. Yeah, that's what I did. I pressed button 1, which is like... That's my problem. I'm used to driving in Train Driver 2, yeah? And buttons 1 and 7 are used to operate locomotive brake. And in this game, button 1 is used to operate emergency brake. And that's literally pressing this button. And I just pressed it. So it's all about the controls. Remember, if you are used to controls from Train Driver, use 8 and 2 to operate independent brake. Otherwise, you will do exactly what I just did. Okay, we still have to wait for the brakes to release. It's gonna take some time because that's a... Well, the train is not particularly long. I think it's only 350 meters long train. But it's very heavy. So it's gonna take a while. Okay. For some reason... Oh, there we go. Now we can apply power. Just to be clear with the game, yeah, we sounded a horn after emergency braking. And we can now carry on. It is definitely a bit of a challenge to drive this locomotive. You need to be very careful. I'm not sure why there is still 20 km/h speed limit though. Because I'm absolutely sure that we've already left 20 km/h zone. Oh, let me just... Yeah, but the game is still forcing us to drive at 20. Even though the tracks are currently at 70, if you notice the signs. So there is something that developers have missed. Because as soon as the train passes next to that sign, we should be able to travel at 70. And you can see that these tracks, in fact, should support 70 km/h.
Czuwak.
Although I might be wrong, because I don't remember passing the sign that cancelled the temporary speed limit. So it might be actually right. I will have to review that later on during further gameplays, because right now I'm playing for the first time and I'm going through this route for the first time. But I'm fairly sure that this speed limit applied only for a short period of time. And there was clearly a sign for 70 on that route. But I might be wrong. Okay, I will definitely have to review that. Okay. We are getting close.
True back.
We are getting very close to our final destination. Providing that we got roughly around 13 minutes delay. We could technically try and reduce that. Probably it would be easier if I would start using cruise control, because then the train would automatically adjust the brake force, and all I had to do, or all I have to do when it comes to those slow speeds, should technically be setting my target speed, and the locomotive should be easily able to adjust the speed, especially that there was not really that long section of high-speed route for this particular train. It is definitely much harder for these automatic systems to work out your brake force if you have to brake suddenly or something. But the speed limit was changing between 20, 30 and eventually 50. But we never actually reached that much. The most I've been driving at was 40. So technically, cruise control should be able to keep this train in control, and all I would have to do is to respond to ahead signs that tells me what kind of speed limit is next, and set the cruise control for that speed limit. And technically, the train should drive itself. Right. I need to let it coast because I'm speeding at the moment. John Anderson, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today.
True back.
There we go. That was alerter. Yeah, definitely this panel is it's so bright. And it's causing the resolution to drop. That's the problem. But I like you can just switch these panels, because I prefer them in nighttime mode. Even during daytime, I think it's much easier to read anything on them. Ah, there we go. That's the end of 20 km/h speed limit zone. So yes, in fact, the game was right in that regard. While entire route is
True back.
so yeah, that's when 70 km/h speed limit will apply. I need to answer.
41, 4018, answering.
Posłowie Zęgówka will go on track 6 and then you will wait until the full release of the SimRail. Don't forget to add SimRail to your wishes. See you soon.
True back.
Okay, so basically we will have to enter track 6. We got nice Easter egg here, yeah. Well, small Easter egg. In fact, dispatcher informed us that we will finish our route at track 6, and we will have to wait until full release of the game. And I hope that this will happen soon, because in my opinion, if entire game runs as good as this bit, it is really good. It is definitely really good. Obviously, yeah, some sacrifices will have to be made when it comes to stream layouts. That is for people that are streaming on a single PC setup. If somebody is streaming on a double PC setup, which I could technically set up for this one, I could technically get away without... yeah, I could in fact try and get away without any issues. But setting up 2 PC setup is... oh my goodness me, this is painful. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a challenge. But this way, yeah, I would have loss-free performance on any game, no matter how hard it is on your PC. And there would never be a situation when the game runs perfectly fine on my machine and it looks like garbage on the stream. Yeah, that's definitely something I would have to think about at some point. I do have equipment for 2 PC setup. I literally have second PC that could easily handle that when it comes to streaming on its own. So I might think about it. But for now, yeah, this game runs perfectly fine. From the graphical standpoint, some people might like it, some people might hate it. I love it. It looks far better than it used to. Like, when it comes to far objects, like in the middle, you can see the lights, you can see some catenary. It pretty much blobs into a black spot on the screen. Perhaps that could see some improvement, but I don't really feel like they could do much more about it. Definitely it looks good so far. The game runs pretty well, unless you are trying to run some other programs in the background. The game shouldn't have any major difficulties. So it definitely works. Some steering issues. Yeah, some people might have problem with the steering, especially people that decided to go for one of those weird keyboards without numlock. I don't know what kind of masochist would go for it, but there are some people in the world like that, and they seem to be complaining a lot about the fact that quite large chunk of locomotive controls are located in this area. And this is mostly because some developers from Train Driver 2 and Machina, which are 2, I think, most popular, one of the most 2 popular, or 2 of the most popular simulators on Polish market, at least, or for Polish rail community, are using in fact those controls to operate locomotives. So it was always like that for years for those people, that you applied throttle with plus button on the numeric keyboard, you decreased throttle with minus button on numeric keyboard, and you operated brakes with numeric keyboard itself, like buttons 3, 9 for train brake. In fact, I think it's always 1 and 7 for independent brakes, so that's a big change. Yeah, that's what caused me to engage emergency brakes twice during this stream already, and the stream is not over yet. Yeah, we haven't done yet. So yeah, there are some differences even for me. Definitely, probably everyone is looking forward to be able to change their controls as they wish to. Many people are complaining, oh yeah, set it up exactly like Train Sim World 2 does. And in my opinion, controls from Train Sim 2 World are not the best, to be honest. But it depends on individual preferences, obviously. The biggest advantage of Train Sim World 2 controls is the fact that it actually supports all types of keyboards. Yeah, so if somebody will buy that keyboard that is completely stripped of every single button and has like 15 or 20 buttons on it, because there are some sadists like that, and they like to make their life difficult. The game would support these controls. But yeah, that's the only advantage of Train Sim World 2 controls. In my opinion, for Train Sim, yeah, it's nice to be able to use both hands to control the train. And that's basically what these controls are doing. You got your right hand to operate throttle and brakes, and you got your left hand to operate everything else. So horn, doors, and all that kind of crazy stuff. You can do that with left hand because it's all on the left side of the keyboard. And pretty much I believe that's the thought behind it. And the game basically takes from those two most like prominent simulators, and they basically adjusted these controls just slightly, and that's why we got stuff or main controls on the right and secondary controls on the left. Sad part is, yes, the fact that even in the demo you can't reconfigure your controls. That might be very annoying for some people, but since that will be working in a full version of the game, I can't really blame developers for taking that decision. Perhaps they couldn't find time to mingle with it, program it, everything, so that every single user can do their own configuration. Maybe they just wanted to gather data and opinions about controls. So there will be voices to support it, there will be voices to say this is a bad idea. I'm really glad to see that developers fixed a lot of things that were working pretty bad in first demo. So definitely some options like setting the game between Imperial and metric systems, although in fact the game should always force user, at least at this point, to use metric system. Because again, you are driving in Poland, yeah, all the signs are in metric system, so unless developers will make it so that all the speed limit signs that will pop up along the route will automatically display the right speed limit for the setting of the user, it makes no sense to have Imperial and metric system in the game. Because if somebody would like to master the game, he would have to switch to metric system. Your like front panel will always display your speed limit or your speeds in metric system, because you can't switch that. Yeah, at least there is no option on the panel at the from what I could see to make it work in that system. Unless I missed something, but yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. So again, the sheer existence of that option, it's nice that it's there for some sort of masochist that would like to check if he can drive along Poland using Imperial system. And yeah, probably it would be possible if you can quickly translate miles per hour to kilometers per hour, and the opposite. But other than that, yeah, that might be quite challenging task for you. As for the rest of the stuff, from graphical perspective, the game looks great. It looked great before, although it had some issues with anti-aliasing, and that got fixed as they promised. They added additional locomotive, which is nice. Okay, let's stop. Nighttime is very nice. We will definitely have a look at this. Okay, achievement unlocked, heavy hauler, and mission finished. So I got 2 achievements from one go. We are 17 minutes late. This scenario took us way over an hour, which is also nice. I really like that 1 hour and 15 minutes. That was the first scenario. It wasn't particularly long route, but as you can see, with a very tough speed limits that are present in this area, it created a very nice scenario. And you can see in reality, well, basically the route is based on how it looks like in reality. The real drivers have to go through the same struggle. Yeah, if they have to transport 2,000 tons of coal on this very short route, it's gonna take them 1 hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, the person will have to sit down in this or other locomotive, depending on which unit is actually operating on that route. Back in the days, it used to be EU07s and ET41s, most likely, perhaps some other units as well. So you can see, like, definitely it takes a long time. Yeah, damage is caused by excessive mining of coal. Basically made this area really inaccessible, even for rails. Yeah, you have to be very careful, you have to drive very slowly, because you never know when there's gonna be a dip in the ground that will cause the rails to basically snap or whatever or get damaged, and you have to drive slowly because you need to stop this train before you derail the whole thing. Right, guys, what I'm gonna do, I will take a very short break. Perhaps I will try to restart Spotify to give you some music for that time. Perhaps I don't want this option. Let me just find Spotify. There we go. Please tell me. Spotify can't play this. Oh, come on, you. Perhaps I could play this playlist? No? If you have it on your computer, you can import it. What is wrong with Spotify? Oh. Let me just check if I can... Yeah. Okay. Perhaps that will fix it. No. How do I do that? Volume level? No. Okay. Okay. For some reason, Spotify is doing really bad things for me today, and it doesn't work. Perhaps I could download the whole thing. Yeah, that might work somehow. Right. What I will do, I will go to main menu in the first place. Yeah, that might probably help Spotify to start working again. Okay, perhaps it won't. Ah, dear, oh dear. Right. I will take a break. Let me just... can I... Come on. Spotify. Okay, Spotify started to download something. So perhaps... I don't get it. It might be because... No, Steam is not running. But for some reason, the game might be impacting Spotify. So what I will do... You will see a black screen for now. There we go. Let's see if that will help Spotify to decide... No, you can't play it right now. Why you can't play it? This is weird. Maybe it's because they did something with the streaming ability, and I won't be able to play Spotify. Huh, that might be a problem. Settings, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Playback. Okay. Offline storage. Oh, yeah. Definitely, I would like to store it in a specific place. There we go. There we go. Okay. And hardware acceleration off. There we go. And it still can't play it. Right, there is definitely some issue with Spotify. Let's see if I can spot a Spotify in this thing. I'm sure there is problem with a Spotify. Why do you have that? Okay. It still doesn't work, which is weird. It used to work at the start, and then it stopped. Okay, it's now turned on. Okay, it tried to play something and it stopped. Yeah, it's like it was trying to connect and it instantly loses connection, which is weird. And I'm fairly sure that I'm not using that much resources while streaming. There we go. Something is happening, but it's not working as it should. Okay. I see. Yeah, sadly, I haven't downloaded the music from Spotify, so we will have to. Perhaps what I could do, let me just go to there we go. And now I can there we go. That's gonna be that might be too loud, isn't it? There we go. Okay, now it works. Okay, so I eventually put something on YouTube. Sorry for that issues, but as you can see, whenever you are trying to run a new stuff, there are some problems that you have to overcome. But we made it. Right, so, guys, I'm gonna take a short break. And after that short break, we will continue playing SimRail. And this time, we will take a passenger service during the night time, which is a brand new introduction to the game. So we can see for ourselves how the game looks like while we are driving during the night. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you in 5 minutes.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. figured out a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band.
All right. I'm back. Max Wilson, I'm glad you enjoy it. To be fair, it is really annoying when you encounter problems, but from streamer's perspective, the show must go on, yeah? So you have to make something do, yeah? Or make do. Obviously, like, if you can't make show out of the game, make show out of how you fix the game, yeah? So yeah, we just went on, we managed to succeed, the game is now running perfectly fine, although, yeah, I ran into some other problems, but let me stop the music, perhaps that will be better. There we go, the music is now off, perfect. Right, so, what was I, yeah, so we managed to succeed, we managed to finish first scenario that we ran today, which was a freight train. So now we will head on and have a look at passenger train scenario, which is now playing during the night. So we will see some different lightning effects, and hopefully we will be able to enjoy this game in the nighttime. It's not that common for Polish Rail Simulator to feature nighttime. Obviously, yes, you can see that in Maszyna if you've ever played this game. But the nighttime in there is quite questionable. Some people like it, some people dislike it. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but it could be better. So let's see how SimRail handles that issue. So far, the best nighttime effects that I've ever seen were in Train Sim World 2, believe it or not, in Naverken Dresden route. That was when they actually went ahead and did really nice and enjoyable nighttime driving. So hopefully SimRail is handling the topic in a similar fashion. So let's have a look. How did I make my transitions? Well, I referred to, can't remember the YouTuber name, but somebody did a short tutorial video on how to make transitions for OBS, custom transitions. Basically, you do them in Adobe After Effects. You can download it for free for 7 days. And then you don't have to pay anything. You have to initially sign up for subscription, but if you cancel it before that 7-day period of trial will end, they will return you the money. So basically you can test it for free for 7 days, I think. And that's exactly what I did. I used that 7 days to design my transitions. And then I just resigned. Because while Adobe After Effects is a really nice program, and I loved to work with it, it's way too expensive. Like, I think it costs £20 a month, which is, yeah, that's too expensive for a software that I will be using once a year or something. But other than that, yeah, it's really nice program, and that's where I designed my my own transitions. Obviously, you can do much more if you have some experience with the program. So you can see, for example, people like Harris Heller. He has amazing transitions. I can't remember the other streamers, but there are quite a few on YouTube already. They got amazing transitions, and most likely they are making them in Adobe After Effects. And yeah, basically that's the software I used. Right. Anyway, enough of technical stuff about the stream. Let's jump in to the game. So we finished Katowice-Sędziszów route. Yeah, I definitely wish that Adobe would introduce a way to buy a version of a software like permanently, so you don't have to pay the subscription every month, but you pay a single price and you get, let's say, limited updates. Same as, let's say, Vegas DOS, yeah? So Sony with their Vegas software, they got those editions like 2014, 2015, 2016, and so on and so on. Right now, it's Vegas 19. I'm currently using Vegas 18 myself, because that's the last edition I bought. It is expensive to buy, but when you buy it once, you can use it for years. And it will keep or it will keep its functionality from the time when you bought it, yeah? And that's exactly what I want, because let's face it, it will take me many years to master this software to the level when a new features that they will introduce in, let's say, version 20 something will be something that I will really need, yeah? So I don't really feel the need to buy a new edition right now, but I already paid enough for the software to always be able to install it on my PC and always use it. And I like this model. The same goes to Microsoft Office. I'm not fan of that Microsoft 365, which is subscription based. I prefer to buy my own edition of Microsoft Office and just use it for many years. Because I won't be able to use all the functionalities of the new stuff. It's good for corporate or for large corporation to get constant updates to the software. But for end user like me, it's not needed. Right, anyway, let's jump into Katowice-Warszawa. We got our 34WE, or otherwise called ELF. We can do tutorial, which was present in the demo, and I showcased it while we were testing the game for the first time. You can check out the playlist on my channel if you are watching me on YouTube. And if you are watching me on Twitch, well, you will have to navigate to my YouTube channel and search for SimRail playlist, where I showcase a tutorial. It is most likely exactly the same as it is in the Prologue, so I'm not gonna be playing that. Instead, we will play full Ząbkowice-Będzin route, which should take us about 30 minutes. It's a difficulty level 1 scenario. And the departure time is at 9:50 p.m. So we will be driving in late evening, night time, more or less. So let's play it, and let's see if I still remember how to operate this locomotive. Okay, classically, you get that loading screen.
Welcome to SimRail demo. You are at Dąbrowa Górnicza-Ząbkowice station. Today you will run passenger train 4665 on the section Dąbrowa Górnicza-Ząbkowice, Będzin. You will use the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate it.
Okay, I have to say I already like it. Like, nighttime, just look at this. Apart from that slight flickering, which you will always get because game rendering and graphics rendering will be quite flickery, it looks really nice. Right, let's enter. Okay, and this time we can actually freely move along the train. That's obviously toilets. And that's a cabin number 2, probably, is it? Or is it cabin number 1? I can't see the number, but we will see which cabin is this one. So if we will enter the cabin, there we go. There should be cabin number displayed somewhere on top. It usually is. Right, anyway, let's first sit down because time is running out. It's 21:51, so we need to quickly get this train going. Cab lighting, let's turn that on. Okay, perfect. What else do we need? We need to enable this cabin. Lights near, no, lights far, definitely. Right, how do I enable the cabin? There was a button for that. Okay, let's reset that. Perfect. Release brake. Unlock brake pipe. Oh, I forgot. We haven't closed the main circuit. Where is that? Main switch? No, I need to raise the pantograph. Yes. So pantograph goes up. We need to wait for the pantograph to connect with the wire. It is taking its time. Is it connected now? No, it's not. And it should be. The battery is definitely on. Okay, there is something wrong with the pantographs. Or I messed up something. We got lights. Perhaps I activated the wrong cabin. Yeah. I probably activated the wrong cabin. There we go. Now we got both pantographs. We don't need both. Let's turn on main switch. I think we will be slightly delayed. But we should be able to get it sorted. Let's set my light for shunting. Oh yeah, it would be good to enable radio. I forgot it's turned off. Let's contact with the signaler.
Ready to approach the platforms.
Clear to approach the platform.
Okay. Spring brake is released. And we are now moving. Perfect. We got 1 minute to to get to the platform. We should be able to make it. Yeah, I definitely forgot how to operate this one. Okay, thank you very much, Max, for joining us today. And don't forget that whatever part of the stream you missed, it will be fully published here on YouTube without any cuts, not long after the stream will end. So as soon as YouTube will finish processing it, you can watch the parts that you missed. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. This way you might get some notifications from YouTube. Obviously the bell button will help, and you will never miss any of my content. And finally, don't forget to join my Discord server. You can find link in description down below the video. Right, we are slightly late, are we? Yeah, we are late. Right, technically the game is now informing us when we can stop. I can turn that off. Right. Yeah, definitely preparing this train took me a little bit longer than I want to. Okay, there we go. Doors should now be unlocked. Yes. The mirror looks nice. Okay.
Ready for departure.
Right. You can now lock the doors. Perfect. What message? You mean all the... Oh, you mean all that UI. I turned it off using F1 button, so you can turn off pretty much entire right side, which has all the informations that you might need, but it will also have the informations that you might not need. Yeah, so basically that's incorporated in that left menu. So it's F1 button. So you can turn it on and off, and it will turn it off with the message as well. So sadly, I don't think you can turn off the message itself without turning off the rest of the stuff. But personally, I don't really need that rest of the stuff, so it doesn't bother me. All I need is my timetable and eventually chat to refer to something. Perhaps that's a good suggestion to make on the game's forums on Steam. So when you go to discussion section in the game, you can probably make a suggestion to make your UI a little bit more adjustable. Definitely that would be a nice thing to have. I really wish those signs would actually work properly, or those neutral sections would work properly. But I doubt they will do that anytime soon. Oh, so probably they didn't gone for it, or they are working on it for the full release of the game. Right, we should now be able to speed up more or less to 120. Yes, stop indicator isn't a bad idea for people that have no clue how to drive on Polish railways, don't get me wrong. I love the idea, but it would be nice if the game would have a little bit more adjustments that you can make to your UI and turn specific things on or off and keep them that way without turning them off every time you start the game. Okay, we are now approaching the station. Oops, I might have overshot a little bit. Yeah. Oops. My bad. I definitely lost a feel of the brakes in this train. So we will have to reverse the train direction. Emergency works pretty well. Yeah, but I'm not fan of using emergency brakes, so for the purpose of the first drive, yeah, I definitely need to reverse a little bit. Not a big deal. I mean, in reality, yeah, that would be a big deal. But definitely I forgot how unresponsible those brakes are. There we go. We will be delayed, but it is what it is. Okay, let's release the brakes. We got 1 minute delay. Yeah, we are in fact loading passengers. There we go. Yes, you have to apply quite a lot of that brakes. But again, it's all about getting the feel of the brakes. Especially in this unit, because it has that electromechanic brake that is controlled by the onboard computer to make braking that much smoother for the passengers. And obviously at some point you might not be braking hard enough. There we go. We are now passing next to that freight train. And we are approaching another station. I'm absolutely sure that we are now late. Planning, yes, it takes a lot of planning. It's definitely something I need to get used to. There we go. Now left doors are opened. The passengers are boarding, are they? Yes, they are. I would really like to turn off everything except that indicator. But I can't remember how to do it. It was possible previously where you can see this top section and you couldn't see those sections. But I don't seem to be able to turn that off now. I can turn off everything. But I can't turn off. Okay, so F2 is turning off that help when you hover over controls. F4, what is F4 doing? Nope. F5. Oh, F4 is turning off my profile picture. Or is it? Oh, that's F5. But F4 used to turn off this section. And right now you can't. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, because I really enjoy part of that left-hand side menu. Yeah, chat box is, I think, F2. Is it? No. That was F3? No. Can't remember. But definitely nighttime looks really nice. I like it. Okay, we are approaching red light. It's nice that it's so visible at night. Yeah, definitely. Nighttime experience is really nice in the game. Okay, I will slowly approach the signal. I might be close enough. No, I'm not close enough. But when I get a bit closer to the signal...
Dąbrowa Górnicza, 4665, requesting permission to enter the station.
4665, approach to Dąbrowa Górnicza on permit signal on track number 1.
Okay, I might be able to go without stopping. There we go. So that is gonna save me some time. Yeah, that's definitely nice thing. That if you are driving slow enough, you might be able to get away with permissive signals if you know when they are about to happen. Obviously, normally you would prefer to stop and then contact with the signaler and figure out what to do next. But we've all played this scenario so many times. Desk light. There is definitely a panel light, so... where did I turn this? Control panel lighting. There's door opening buttons, brake assimilation, direction control. I'm sure there is some panel lights switch somewhere. But yeah, definitely you can have this control panel lighting. Right. Okay, we are now stopped and we can see a little bit better. Okay, washer. There is definitely lightning somewhere here. Engine room lightning.
4665, ready for departure.
Cab lightning. Oh, there we go. We can turn on cabin lights. What else we can do? I don't think we can do anything. Yeah, we can roll the blinds, but that's not something we need. Now we can do sanding. Okay, right, let's focus on driving. The speed limit now will be 100 km per hour. Mr. Google, are there more trains? Yes. Is there multiplayer? No. We will have to wait for the multiplayer, definitely. But when it comes to more trains, there is also a TRAXX locomotive that we've been testing before. As you can see, the game runs great, especially during the night. Like, I have very solid frame rate here. I can feel that. So that's really nice. Right, we are approaching another station. Ollie, not exactly. We are not on 40 limit. 40 limit is something that the game applies because it doesn't read the signals properly. 40 limit applies only to the platform because you are entering the platform on permissive signal. Later on, you don't have to continue at 40 because you are setting off the station on a track that has 100 km/h speed limit. So technically, you can speed up right away when you set off from the station. Same goes to the first station on the route. I'm not sure if you've ever checked this speed limit that is displayed here. 40 km/h speed limit applies according to the rules only until the train passes the last junction, and then you are effectively on the trial, which has 120 km/h speed limit. Obviously, it would be quite hard to speed up right away because of other signs that are on the track, especially like neutral section signs that you should adhere to, which means that you shouldn't be drawing any power while traveling through that section. That's why I waited through that section before I applied power. But still, if you would look to the UI, I applied the power a little bit too soon compared to what game expected me to. Because the game awaits for a little bit too long to allow you to apply power. Right, I might be speeding a little bit too much here. Yeah, I might be going a little bit too fast. Because if I remember correctly, we are at 110 speed limit. Okay, there we go. We are approaching another station. Yes, I know that if I would have HUD turned on, it would indicate when I'm speeding, at least according to how the game is programmed. But the game programming and real life rules, it doesn't really line up in some places. And that was pointed out multiple times by people on the forums. And that in certain places the speed limits are a little bit wrong. So same goes to the first signal. When you start the game initially, you are technically well, the UI tells you to travel at 120, and it switches that down to 25 only after you reach the first signal that displays you entrance to the station. But 25, in fact, would apply for the whole time. They probably won't do anything about it, don't get me wrong. If you want to master the route, you will have to learn the rules and apply them differently than the game requires you. Otherwise, you will be just too slow. It's not a wrong way to drive if you have to keep your speed limit a little bit longer. Right. I need to be a bit slower. And I need to contact with the signaler.
Benjin 4665, requesting permission to enter the station.
Okay. We got permission just in time. If I would be traveling any faster, I would pass signal at danger. Right. I've read actual real instructions for train drivers in Poland. It is available on the internet. Unfortunately, it is available only in Polish. There are some translations here and there, but those are like a bit mock-up versions of it. So you won't find everything in there. Some time ago on my Discord, I posted a guide to Polish signaling, where all the signals and signs that I included there, at least, are explained. So you may try to refer to this document. There we go. I need to stop in front of that W4 marker in front of me. There we go. And now if I will open the door, technically, there we go, night run. We were late for first 3 stops, but we managed to make up for it at Dąbrowa Górnicza. And then we kept our schedule up to the limit. I think we managed to finish on time, so the train was technically not delayed. First 3 stations when I was like trying to figure out few things, and especially on Pogoria, where I actually overshot the station. That's when we caught some delay, but we managed to make up for it. Okay, so we can go back to main menu. Right, so as you can see, the game doesn't really give you any analysis of your run, so speed limits and stuff. I'm fairly sure they are still working on it, and perhaps some adjustments will be made, but I doubt they will come back to those scenarios. They are good as they are. They are more or less accurate. And as you can see, we were able to finish this run. Maybe not in the best way. There is still a large field of improvement that I could make. But it's all about practice, yeah? The first run that I did on the nighttime, it was really enjoyable. I really loved how the nighttime looks. Definitely it has positive impact on performance, believe it or not, even though you have various different lights here and there, and they should technically use more resources. The fact that you don't have one big light source that will cast shadows on everything on the map and cause massive havoc, definitely that has positive impact on the performance. Also, you can get away with lower drawing distance because at night you won't see anything. Your lights just give you as much as they give you. Technically, during nighttime, I should be actively operating my lights, in fact, to switch them between main beam or full beam and dimmed lights, especially when I'm approaching the platforms, to not dazzle the passengers, which I haven't done. So that is one field of improvement. Obviously, a little bit more attention to the signs. Work on the brakes. So there are a few things that I can improve and definitely make this run better. Yeah. And that is apart from practicing how to operate this particular unit, which, as you could see, I've been struggling to do at the beginning. But that comes with experience. It's not a bad unit to operate. Definitely, it has seen some improvements from the previous version. I found it much easier to operate. And probably the tracks won't be very different. I still don't like the idea of having double click to move the lever all the way up or down. Definitely they need to do something about it. Maybe make it a triple or quad click. It's still quite fast to do on the keyboard. But you will prevent those accidental double clicks that you can make and apply emergency brakes or apply full power and go into wheel slip. So those are elements that you need to or that you need to be aware of as a player, and hopefully developers will be able to adjust. When it comes to graphics, as you can see, the game looks fine. I was really happy to see that there were some improvements and the game indeed looks much better. There might be some adjustments to very distant objects. But again, if I would mingle with graphics settings, and probably if I wouldn't be streaming, I could push it a little bit further and get that LOD a bit higher and probably squeeze out a little bit better quality out of the game. But again, because I've been streaming, I couldn't push everything all the way to its limits because the game already uses so much resources and like it's impossible even on 3080 and 11th gen i7. So definitely, yeah, the game requires quite powerful machine to run if you want to run it in its full potential. When it comes to lower graphics settings, you can probably get away with a bit slower machines. Definitely, you won't need a massive graphic card if you don't want to run the game in its full graphics. But a CPU is something that this game will definitely appreciate. You could see that, yeah, while from graphical standpoint, I got the graphics card that can easily run this game on full graphics. You can't really get any better graphic cards apart from 3090s, which cost pretty much the price of a small car. So let's not count those. Let's count consumer level graphics cards. So yeah, if you can go up to 3080, definitely you will be running this game in full potential. 3070, which I used before, should handle this game pretty well. There's definitely some performance improvements, so I believe 3070 should easily handle this game on pretty good graphics. 20 series graphics cards, which should be quite popular right now, especially that you can barely get any 30 series graphics cards. They shouldn't have too many problems. Obviously, the game won't run on very high settings. Maybe on 2080 Ti, you can take that risk. But any previous graphics cards, if you mingle with the graphics settings, you might be able to play the game. You might not be able to stream it. As you could see, even my PC was struggling in certain configurations. We had that at the start of the stream, so definitely you will have to do some testing, especially if you want to showcase the game. If you just want to play it and enjoy it, yeah, you can get away with slightly higher graphics settings and it should run fine. And all you have to do is to get yourself a keyboard with a numeric or numpad, which you will need to operate the train, unless you want to operate everything with the mouse, which isn't that bad, especially that now in controls, if you noticed, you can adjust the sensitivities. So it should be a little bit easier to operate those knobs using mouse. It's still quite tricky, but I believe everyone will be able to master that. All in all, SimRail 2021 Prologue is a massive improvement over the demo. I think the game is more or less ready to go another step ahead and get some other features enabled, and perhaps if the full game works exactly like the Prologue, it might be very close to its release date. I'm very happy with what I've seen, and I might try and record some videos of more perfect run with some explanation of how to use specific options or how to read specific signs. But definitely today's video should also work as a good guide. Avo, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you will have a great time today. Unfortunately, you picked up pretty unfortunate timing because we are about to finish. We've already went through everything that we wanted today. But have no fear if you missed a large part of the stream. It will be posted on YouTube shortly after the stream ends, so you can always rewatch what you missed. And there are some information that you might use when you will be playing the game yourself. Speaking of the game, you can test it yourself for free on Steam. Just type in SimRail 2021 in the search bar on the shop. You should find SimRail 2021 or SimRail Prologue, and you can download it for free, add it to your library, and check the game on your own. I hope you will have a great deal of fun with it. It's really enjoyable product, and it's going definitely the right direction when it comes to simulators. I look forward to check out the multiplayer and dispatcher if I will ever get a chance to do so before the release of the game. You might actually see some videos out of it, depending on some policies and stuff. If not, after the release, I will definitely hop into multiplayer and try driving in multiplayer, or try to dispatch on one of the signal boxes. That will definitely be fun experience, and I look forward to it. But until then, well, enjoy the Prologue. Guys, thank you very much for watching me today. I hope you had a great deal of fun. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, yeah, there should still be a thumbs down button next to the video. Unfortunately, you won't see how many people hated my videos, but I will see that, and it's a good feedback for me. Obviously, if you are not a subscriber, you might want to press that red button under the video and subscribe. If you are watching me on Twitch, yeah, just hit that follow button. It will send you notifications anytime I will be live. And finally, if you want to get a little bit more information or chat about the game, I strongly invite you or encourage you to join my Discord server. You can find links to it in description down below the players, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Right, guys, have a great day, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye-bye.